Hi everyone, welcome to our podcast that highlights the most recent trends in the field of employee well-being and corporate wellness. Today we will discover one of the most unusual but extremely effective anti-stress tools that you can offer your employees at work. I'm delighted to have with me Paul Russell, the founder of the Standing Ovation Choir. Hello, Paul.
Hi there. Hello. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
I'm very good, thank you. Very good. I'm excited to be here.
Excellent. Paul, without giving it all away straight away, can you give us 3 clues about the topic we're going to talk about today? 3 clues to our listeners.
Oh, wonderful. 3 clues.
Yeah.
This form of activity in the workplace is quite unusual and unique. It involves sound and it involves community.
So unusual, unique, sound, and community.
Yes.
So invite our listeners to use their imagination and guess. And can you reveal the answer to us, Paul, please?
Sure. The answer is the benefits of singing in the workplace, coming together as a group, as a community, and using the power of singing and all the holistic benefits that come with singing to strengthen community in the workplace, to learn transferable skills for presentations, pitches, meetings, and then coming together and strengthening culture in the workplace. So all to do with singing.
Wow, singing at the workplace. I mean, I've heard about singing in the shower.
And the car.
Okay, singing in the workplace is wow. It's very unique, very unusual. Why would people want to sing at the workplace? I mean, do people really do that?
Absolutely, yes. We work with clients that have varied from Google to AIG to MC Saatchi to the NHS to Reed Recruitment to charities to do with cancer and haemophilia. It reason why people, I feel, should and our clients love singing in the workplace is that when you sing scientifically, let's have a science moment, you release you produce 2 chemicals, 2 hormones in the body, endorphins and oxytocin. Oxytocin is a natural stress reliever. It's actually a component of antidepressants because it releases this chemical throughout the body that helps deal with anxiety and stress.
Excellent. So, I don't need, if I feel depressed, I just came back from my holidays, all I need is to get a group of people at work and start singing together. Do I need to have special singing talents? I don't think I'm a really good singer, really, Paul.
The answer to that is no. We always say this with our clients when we first start working. Well, our first question is, what's your objective? What do you want? How can we facilitate this goal that you have? And that generally varies from we want to bring people together, or often in these big companies, we're on 29 floors. Uh, I could email you every day. You could be on the 29th floor. I could be on the 13th floor. We email every day, but we don't know anything about one another as humans. So it's a really great way to bring people together. But to answer your question, do you need to be able to sing? Absolutely not. We're not looking for Britain's Got Talent or the X Factor. But maybe we are, Julie. But that's not the goal. Then in our sessions, we always add the transferable skills, such as, for example, how can you control your breath? Your breath control. It sounds very simple. It's something we're doing right now, both of us, and as our listeners are listening
Yes.
right. But when you sing, you have to have complete control of your breathing. And it's a low breath. And that in turn controls your mood, can control nerves. Those times that maybe you've got a massive pitch of your clients, or you've just been promoted to a leadership role and it's your first time talking to your new team. Or the flip side, let's say you've got an appraisal with the directors, the CEO, whatever it would be, your line manager, and you're a little nervous. Just having this awareness of breath how to center the voice and control the breath can just be such a powerful tool. And
Okay, so how did this idea come about? Was it just you one day you thought, wow, I should bring some fun into the workplace and people should be singing at work? How this idea was born?
that's a great question. So literally it aligned and it came into place. So my background is as a vocal coach, a performer, and a choir leader. And as a performer, I've worked in West End shows, done tours, television. As a vocal coach, I've worked with Oscar Grammy winner John Legend, UK projects. So that's my background. And I lived in New
Wow.
York. Yeah, no, and I love what I do, and I've been very blessed to work with some fabulous people. And I worked with a wonderful man who was a director at Google, and Google, back there, the headquarters in Chelsea, Manhattan, New York. And he had just got a massive promotion and was working with this new team. And from what I gathered, this team weren't best pleased that he had got this role. They felt like it should have gone to someone else. So he was walking into quite a challenging environment, which, sadly sometimes can
Yeah,
happen in a workplace. And I was working with him on vocal projection, how to use your voice. And of course, we incorporated singing in our sessions, but it was more about like how to be a great orator. And often, like just a quick segue from that, Julie, I'm sure there's people on this call or on this podcast listening, thinking that can relate to this. Often in the corporate world, you can get promoted and promoted and promoted. Then all of a sudden, with that promotion comes responsibility of having to lead team sessions, having to speak at
definitely.
massive conferences. And you're given this position because you're so gifted and you've worked hard, you know your brand well, you know your business well. But are you then taught with the skill set to be a leader, just in the sense of speaking, projecting, and things like this? So this is how I worked with this guy who was director at Google. And then by this point, I had decided to move back to London. Had a wonderful time in New York, but it was time to move. And as this was happening, he approached me and told me of this challenging work environment he was in, and asked if I would come in and sing with his new team. And
Wow.
it was at that point, and this was 2000 and the end of 2013. And it was a very alien concept, just because my initial thought was like, why on earth would like I come in and sing in the workplace with people in
I-
suits? And like, it was alien to me as it was for him.
yeah,
And then I thought about it and I was like, well, I feel in life we grow when we push ourselves out our comfort zone. And essentially, what he's asking me to do is what I do, is what I've done all my life, but just in a corporate world. And so I went in, and the session, Julie, was just phenomenal, so rewarding. I could see, and definitely he was right, there was an icy tone atmosphere in the room when I walked in. And by the end of the hour, and I think he was singing Adele's Rolling in the Deep, and by the end, literally people were laughing, giggling, and they used it at the beginning of their day of meetings. And so as I mentioned, the chemicals, the oxytocin, the endorphins, were all buzzing around the room. And then he had a wonderful, productive day of meetings. And it was then, as I was moving back to London, I was like, I think I'm onto something here. Like, this was so enjoyable. And the benefits I saw, people were communicating with each other, people were expressing themselves, finding your voice in the workplace. So that was the embryo, the nucleus that started Standing Ovation Choir.
Brilliant. I mean, this is a fascinating story, Paul. What would you advise a leader who is listening to you right now and thinking, I love singing, I'd love to bring Paul to my company, but I'm not sure how people's gonna react to that offer.
I would recommend two options. The first option is that quite a lot of our brands do. Reed Recruitment tend to do this, and we go all around the country working with them. Their team has no idea what's happening. It's like almost like
Okay.
a little surprise. How they use it on their when they have brand days and meetings. And literally, what will happen is it's a wonderful thing to see. Actually, they'll walk into their meeting room. I will already be sat up there with the piano, good to go with lyrics, and then all of a sudden they'll walk in and be like, "Who is this man? And what is this keyboard doing in our meeting room? What's happening?" And in that, people are thrown into it. And what we do is we create a really harmonious environment. It's one option, I would say. Or the second
Okay.
option is to gauge interest. So we have a wonderful blurb that we send around to clients when they book us and they're interested in this. And it's just a great way for them to gain interest. And this blurb, like the material, the, it's just kind of encouraging people, reassuring people of the fun aspects. And then we send clips so they can see videos, what we've done with our clients. And they generally relieves them, and they're actually then are excited to the potential of working with us. So those would be your two options: gauge interest, or literally just dive in the deep end. And it's so fun when that happens. And it's really a smart way actually to start a day of meetings, because often you know what it's like. Sometimes you have to go to a place in the country where, I don't know, maybe you're staying a travel lodge if you're lucky, and you're away from your family and friends, and you've got a day of meetings, and you know it's going to be a lot of materials. And then all of a sudden, the curveball's thrown in, and you're singing for the first hour.
I can totally relate to that. I love singing, and I think, as you said, all the benefits they just come so easily, especially when you do it in a group of people. How many sessions would you prescribe?
That's a great question, because it really depends on what the client, the company wants, what the goal is. So let me talk you through like our basic three packages. So as I
Okay,
said, we just had one of them. So where we call it a pop-up session. So we'll come in for a one-off. This is also generally kind of what we recommend to start sessions with, just to gauge interest, to see if it works for your brand, if it works for your employees. And so we'll just pop up for a session. And as I said, maybe it can be on a training day, a brand day, a day of meetings, or it could literally just be an ad hoc, oh, right, this week, our company is doing something a little different. If you want to come and sing between 12 and 1, or 1 and 2, whatever, then come to the conference room or whatever it be. Or we've rehearsed in cafeterias, canteens, lobbies. Like, it really, really varies. So that could be one option, like the pop-up session. And then what we can do as well is we obviously have our regular choirs. So companies that we started with on pop-up sessions, and they've just been so engaged, they've seen so many benefits, the feedback's been so wonderful, that we make it a regular thing. So we have clients that we sing with every week, or
great.
once a fortnight. It really varies. That is a lovely thing um, to have happen.
I love listening to you, Paul, and I think, as you revealed just now, singing together is a great team building tool. And what you just said, I want to highlight that it's a way to humanize our workplace, and I think it's brilliant. I think it's definitely quite a revolutionary way of looking at what we can do as a workplace. So yeah, carry on.
And the last ones, we've got pop-ups, the one-off sessions. We've also got the regular choir. And then our third one is where we work towards a goal. Companies have got a new initiative, or a new app for employees, or a new director or CEO has been put in charge. Like, it's many different ways, or you can work it towards events in the calendar. Sometimes we come into companies 8 weeks before Christmas, and we've worked on carols. So the couple of days before everyone goes on Christmas holiday, there's caroling in the lobby, in the workplace, and reception as people are coming into work. We've done serenading on Valentine's Day. We did a brilliant session with a company when they had Bring Your Kids to Work, that kind of concept.
Wow.
And so we were in for the day, and we were working kids, and then with the parents, and then there was a concert at the end of the children and the parents singing together. So it was just a unique way of, wow, how can you bring this tool in to just elevate, lift, strengthen community, bring teams together?
There's definitely plenty of room for creativity of how you can use singing at the workplace and bring and unite communities in work and outside of work, as you've just given us an example with parents and children. Amazing. What's the most popular song, Paul?
That is a good question. That's also a hard question, Julie. The most popular song, well, I felt for some reason well, not for some reason, she's a wonderful artist, but some last year was the Adele year. Literally,
Okay.
our clients could not get enough of Adele. It really varies. We've actually been doing a lot of Motown um, this year. What Bruno Mars is often a winner as well. We had a fun Black Eyed Peas session a couple of weeks back where they're rapping as well as singing. It tends to be pop, top pop, Motown, um, Beatles sometimes. But it really varies. After this, I'm working with one of my law firms, and we're working on an Andrew Lloyd Webber medley that they want to do as a
Wow.
big performance over the summer. And it's wonderful. It's about 15 minutes long in its duration, and we've been obviously working on that for a couple of months. But then the flip side, we're then working with the NHS later this afternoon, and we're working on a Jessie J song, Flashlight, that was in the film Pitch Perfect 2, I believe. So it really varies.
I've already got a big smile on my face just listening to
Oh,
you, Paul.
perfect,
Yeah.
perfect, good.
I think I'm gonna go away and sing now with my colleagues, definitely. And then, so how do we book you? If anyone wants to get in touch and find out more and book you for one of the sessions, how can they find you and contact you?
Great. The best way would be to check our website, which is www.standingovationchoir.com, or our email, which is very simple, info@standingovationchoir.com.
Paul, it's been such a pleasure, and you ignited my morning today, and I'm sure everyone else's. So
Well, thank you for this opportunity. I'm very excited. And I just would like to say to your listeners, whether it's um, something they take up or not, or whether they think it's too alien, just think about the potential of singing in the workplace. And obviously, ideally, it would be using standing ovation choir, but if not, you can create that in many different ways. But really think outside the box, the benefits of singing. It's a beautiful thing.
I think it's about being courageous and being creative and trying something new even once and see whether it's going to work or not. So,
Absolutely. It's that life thing of like, if you don't try, you don't know.
so we encourage you to try. Thank you very much. Thanks, Paul.